Hi there. Welcome to this devotion. The other day I was listening to a very successful retiring CEO in an interview, and it caused me to relook at my work ethic. And the CEO said that God was more interested in how a leader leads than God isn't about the success of the leader. Success, he said, is overrated. By now, I was so drawn into the interview that I went right past my off ramp. And so I switched the interview off and listened to the interview the next morning while I was out for a walk. And this guy was saying that we live in a success obsessed culture. We quote the richest people, and we follow the most famous leaders, we check out the model of the biggest churches, and we are inspired by the most powerful leaders in the world. We are, we are, we are obsessed with success. And God is not interested in our success. God is not interested in growing revenues. God is not interested in church attendance. God is not interested in the size of our income. God is interested in our character, in your character, in my faithfulness, in your faithfulness. That is what impresses God. And yet, we are in a workplace that it is all about success, all about performance and achievement. We can't ignore striving for success, striving for high performance. We are Christians. We as Christians, we live with this tension in our lives, striving for success and yet not having success as our motivation. The story goes that this American senator by the name of Mark Hatfield went to visit Mother Teresa in Calcutta, and he was struck by the sheer volume of poverty in Calcutta. He saw that the amount of the needy was not being addressed by Mother Teresa's team. As good as their work was, and it was very good, that it fell well short in the sheer volume of the poverty in Calcutta. So he asked Mother Teresa, don't you get discouraged when you see the magnitude of the poverty versus the small amount of good that you do? And her reply is, as usual, profound. My dear senator, she said, God did not call me to be successful. God called me to be faithful. And that is what I would like to remind each of us today. God called you and I to be faithful, not successful. Being faithful might lead to success, but success is not what motivates us. Our employers value the outcome of our work and the what of our work and put a price tag to it. God values what motivates us to work, the why and the how we work. We get remunerated by our success, by our performance, but to God, the bottom line is faithfulness. When I stand in front of God one day, and we're all going to stand there, when I stand in front of God one day, God will not be impressed about the directorship I've got or about the presidency I've received or achieved in associations. Not even my wife and children are impressed by that. God is going to be interested and impressed by how I led, how I lived. God is interested in how you and I, in how we live kingdom values here on earth as it is in heaven. And that is how we live, with this tension between being rewarded on earth for performance and being held accountable to God for faithfulness. We work like we know how it matters to God. We work with our values driven life, with our life where we represent Jesus Christ in every situation. If we succeed or if we fail, we represent Jesus Christ. So may the Spirit of God guide each of us to live like it matters to God, to work like it matters to God, to love like it matters to God. Till we meet again, blessings.